Okay, so welcome back to this channel. So in our previous video we have rendered all the products on our home page, and now in this video I will handle the products detail page. So when I click on this product, I want to display all the details of that product, and also I want to display the images. So right now you can see that I don't have any images saved in my database. Now we will integrate the Cloudinary in our upcoming videos. So right now what I will do is I will simply upload the images manually on my Cloudinary server, and I will use those links right now just to show you the images. But in our upcoming videos we will integrate the Cloudinaries, and we will upload the images from our front end. So right now you can see that this is my Cloudinary account. You can simply create that, and the folder name is Buy It Now. And Buy It Now I have two folders. One is avatars to display the to save the profile pictures of the users, and then we have here the products to save all the images of that product basically. So if I open this products folder, you can see that I have some images here. So I will use these images links, and if I click here on any image, if I click here you can get the URL of that image. So I have already uploaded and added the images. If I go to my VS Code, here in data I have created a new file that is products.json, and here you can see that I have array of all the products, and you will also get this file from my Git repo. Okay, so here you consider I have simply an object that contains the name, price, description, category, seller, stock, and the images. I have three different images. That is an object, first of all, contains two fields. First of all, the public ID, the ID of that image, okay, and then the URL of that image, like this. So in this way I have three different images in our images array, and again we will integrate the Cloudinary later in this course, and then we will upload and handle all that stuff from our project. Okay, so right now just use these to save some time, and in the same way I have four different products. So now I will create um, the products and save that in database. I simply copy that from here, go to my Postman, and this is my endpoint. So I will paste data in the body. If I click on send, you can see that here I have created my product. If I go back and reload this page, so invalid source, we have to add the res.cloudinary.com in the next.config.js. So we have to add this domain in our next.config.js. So here I will type images and then domains, and in this domains array I will add this domain like this. Simply save it and I restart my server. And now if I go back and reload this page, you can see that we get here the product image that we have just uploaded. Okay, so in this way we will create all the products and save that in database. So I copy the second one, and let me do that quickly. Okay, so now I have added four products in the database. If I now reload this page, this one, you will see that we have four products that contain the images like this. Okay, and now I want to display the details of that page. So what I do is I simply go to my GitHub, which is repo, which is Buy It Now. You know that in the first branch I have all the components. So I simply go to the source. In the components I have the products. In that I have the product details. So I simply copy the JSX from here, and we also add the breadcrumbs in this video. So I simply copy this from here, copy that, and then I simply go to the components in the product. I will create a new file here that is product details.jsx. Okay, so create my component and put in here my JSX. Simply save it, and now we have to first of all comment out this one because I haven't created the new review yet, and also we haven't created the reviews component yet. So I simply comment out these two components, and I have to first of all import here the star ratings from React star ratings, and then I go to the app. In the app I create a new folder with the name product, and now we know that our route is going to be /product and then / the ID of that product. So I create a new folder in here that is the ID, that will catch our ID. Now in this ID folder I create a new file that is page.jsx. Okay, and then here I will simply create my component that is going to be product details page, and in that I will simply add here my component that is product details that I will import from the product slash product details. Okay, and now I have to get all the product details. So what I do is I first of all go back, and now if I click on this product, you can see that super expression must either be null or function not defined. So I simply go back and I have to use here the use client, because this is a client side component. So use client, save this one. And now if I go back, you can see that we get here our uh, product details page, and now we have to display all the details here. Okay, and before that we have to get the product details from our backend API. So I simply go back, and then here I type const get product details. Okay, so in that we have to pass the ID of that product basically, and then I will simply send the request to the backend and get my data. So that is going to be await axios dot get, and in that I will simply type here process dot env dot api underscore url, then slash api slash products slash the ID of that product. And I think so we have to also create the backend route. So I will simply return here data dot product, and we will get the params from here, and then I will call my function. So that is going to be const product is equal to await get product details, and in that we have to pass in here params.id, and it will get the ID from the parameters and pass in the function. And when we call this function, it will send the request to this endpoint and get back our product. Okay, so I log here my product, and I also have to make this async because we have used the await. Okay, and now we have to also create the endpoint for it. So I simply go to my backend in the controllers, in the product controllers, and here I simply copy this one. That is going to be get product. Okay, we have to get the single product, and that is going to be product dot find by id. In that we have to pass in here request dot query dot id, that will be passed from the front end. And also I check that if there is no product, then I will copy this from here. I will simply send this response, that is for error that product not found. Simply save this one, and now I simply go to my pages in the API, in the products I create a new file that is going to be id.js. Okay, so our backend endpoint is going to be slash API slash products and then slash the ID of that product. So I simply actually copy this and put that here, and we need to get in here handler dot get product. Okay, and I remove this from here, simply save it. And now if I go back and reload this page, and now if I come back, you can see that we get here our product details with that ID, I think so. So our ID is A32, so this is the A32. Okay, alright, so now we're getting our product, and now I will simply pass this product in here. So I copy it from here and I pass it to my component, and then I will display the details of that product. Simply save it, come back here, and here I will receive my product. So first of all I will display the titles, that is going to be product dot name. Simply save it. If I go back, you can see that we get back here our product name. So now let's quickly add all the details. So I go back and I copy this from here. So here the rating is going to be product dot ratings, and we have to remove this one bracket. In the same way I will display here product dot ratings, and then I will scroll down and I put my price here, and then the description. So that is going to be description product dot price, and then we have here the stock information. So I will first of all add here the category, then the seller, and I think so if I go back, we get back here our all details, and now we have to add here the stock information. Okay, so I simply go back and I will check that after this stock, I will check that if in stock, and to calculate the in stock I go to the top, and here I type cons in stock. I will check that if product dot stock is greater than equal to 1, this means that it is in stock. Okay, so if it is in stock, then I want to display here that this product is in stock, otherwise out of stock. So here I will create a span with the class name text dash green dash 500, so it will give greenish color to this text, and it is going to be in stock. Okay, and else I want to display out of stock in red color, so I simply copy this span again, and that is going to be text red, and that is going to be out of stock. Simply save it, and now if I go back, this product is in stock. So now we are displaying the details of the product. Now I want to handle this image part. I want to display all the images here under this, and want to display the first image in this box. Okay, so I simply go back, I go to the top, and here this is the front image. So what I do is here in the source I will check that if product dot images of 0 exist, this means that this product has images, then I want to display the first image. Otherwise, if this product don't have any images, then I want to display the default image. Okay, so I simply type here product dot images of 0 dot url, and else that is going to be slash images slash, and I think so if I just go to my components, and here in the product item we have this default product.png, so I copy that and I put that here. Okay, so it will display that here. Now if I simply save it, go back, that is going to be images. Now if I go back, you can see that we get back here our first image for this product. If I go back and click here, you can see that we get here our default image. Okay, and I go back. Now I have to display all the images of this product also here, and when user clicks on that image, I have to change this image. Okay, so for that I simply go back, and first of all I have to loop through all the images. So after this div, I think so, I will add here product dot images dot map, and for each image I want to display this box. Okay, so I will put this entire A in here, and for the source I will type image dot url. Okay, so if I go back, you can see that we get back here all the product images right here. So now if user clicks on this image, I have to change this as well. Okay, so for that I go back and I add here on click on this A. Okay, so I will type here on click. I simply want to change the image, so I will call here set image preview and pass in here the image dot URL. So what I do is I go to the top, define my function that is const set image preview. I will get back here my URL, and now I have to set the image URL, and we have to set the image source for this image. So what I do is I will simply create here a new useref hook instance and attach with this with this element. Okay, so I will create here const image ref, and I will use here use ref hook. Okay, and the value is going to be null for the first time, and I will pass this image ref to this image that is going to be ref and the image ref. So now this image ref will represent this entire image element. So now what we can do here is we can simply type here image ref dot current dot src is going to be URL. Okay, so now it will change this element source with this URL that we have passed in here. Simply save it, and now we have to go back. If I click here, you can see that the product image is changing here. Okay, so in this way it will work. And if I go back, click here, you can see that it doesn't have any image, so we don't get here any image. We only get here the default image that we have in our project. Okay, so in this way we can display all the product images. If I click this one, you will get here these two images like this. Okay, and also let's display the breadcrumbs on the top. If I go to my components, here in the components in the layout, I have this breadcrumbs.jsx. Okay, so I will simply copy this from here, create a new component in the layouts, new file with this name, and I will go back and copy this JSX from here, and then I will put that right here. Okay, if I simply save it and I import here breadcrumbs like this, and then I will wrap it in empty tags. If I go back, you can see that here we get back here we have to import the link component. So that is going to be import link from next/link, and then that is href. Simply save this one, and now if I go back, you can see that here we get here our breadcrumbs, and now we have to add all the links here. So what I do is I simply go back, and in the product details page I will simply create here const breadcrumbs that I want to display. That is going to be an array of objects. So the first is going to be, I will pass here the name of the breadcrumb, that is going to be home, and then the URL, and that is going to be slash. And the same way I have the name of the product, and for that I will use here backticks, that is going to be product dot name, and I will use here substring to display only first 100 characters. Okay, and then the URL is going to be, I will add here backticks slash products slash the product ID, so product dot underscore ID, and I will pass this breadcrumbs in here. Simply save it, and I will get that right here. Now we have to loop through all the breadcrumbs and display one by one. So after this OL element, I will add here breadcrumbs dot map through each breadcrumb. I also get here the index, and then I will simply wrap it inside the brackets, and then oops, for each breadcrumb I will simply put that inside. Okay, so I will move it inside like this, and then in the href I will simply type here a backticks, that is going to be breadcrumb dot URL. Okay, and I will simply remove this backtick if we don't need that here. So that is only going to be breadcrumb.url, and then in the name I will simply type here breadcrumb.name. Simply save this one, and now if I go back and if I reload this page, you can see that here we get here home and then the name of the product. Okay, and I also want to display here the icon, and for the icon I have to add the font awesome CDN. And if I go back to the VS Code, I will go in the app in the head.js, and then here I will add the uh, font awesome CDN, and you can get that from my Git repo. So that is simply a link that contains this href, that is font awesome 6.2.1 CSS. Okay, and you have to also add the precedence to default. Okay, you can also get this same from the Google, and also you can get that from my Git repo. Simply save this one, and now if I go back and if I reload this page, maybe I have to restart the server once. And now if I go back and reload the page, and I will simply actually go here, and we have to install this sports color module. So I simply copy it from here, and I type here npm I sport color dash save, and let's install this package. And now if I simply restart my server, and now if I go back and reload this page, you can see that here we get the arrows. Okay, and now we have to remove this error because we don't want to display the last arrow. And for that I will simply go back, and then here I will check that if oops I will check that if breadcrumb dot length -1 is not equal to the index, then I will simply display on this icon. Okay, so now if I simply press Command S, and now if I go back, you can see that here if I reload this page, um if I go back, that is breadcrumbs dot length -1 is not equal to the index, that is breadcrumbs, I think so, like this. Simply save this one, and now if I go back, you can see that the arrow is gone. Okay, so in this way you can also display the breadcrumbs. So I hope that you understand what we have discussed in this video. If you have any question, you can post that in the comment section. I will definitely reply there, and you can also get the source code of this video in the description of this video. And if you want to check out my Udemy courses, I will also add the link in the description of this video. So I will see you in the next video, in which we will start working on our backend pagination, filters and search.